Listen up, convicts. You're being recruited to partake in a special assignment. You must watch The Suicide Squad and know that DC movies can be enjoyable.
If we don't,
you'll be dead.
Any other stupid questions?
The original Suicide Squad is certainly a polarizing one, to say the least. You either love it or hate it, and not many find a comfortable seat on the fence if you chose to sit on it. I know, I tried. While I maintain that I don't hate the original, I mean it's really hard for me to not like Will Smith. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn was one of the true saving graces, as well as Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang. But I would be remiss if I said I didn't understand where the hate comes from. I mean, it's supposed to be a movie about villains. Villains! Why is a movie about villains trying to be about a dysfunctional family?
This is so fucking stupid.
Pro tip, if you had to invest your time in either DCEU's Squad movie or the animated flicks, watch the animated flicks instead. I promise, they're far more worth your time. Yeah, I know, David Ayer's been coming out of the woodwork saying that the 2016 movie isn't the movie he initially set out to make. I do recall that the studio made abrupt changes to the script to make it more in line with Guardians of the Galaxy. Makes a stupid kind of sense, they're both about a ragtag band of not really heroes, but yeah, Warner Bros., when you guys try to copy Marvel, it doesn't freaking work out for you. And get rid of the husband abuser. Gotta do what's best for the movie. You know what's best for the movie? Profit. Revenue. When you make an expensive movie, that expensive movie has to make money. She's the reason your movie won't make money. Did I seriously just lecture a corporate film studio about how business works?
Fuck this place! Fuck it!
Sorry. Had to get at least one anti-husband abuser rant into this video. Back on track. It is 2021, and Gunn has promised us a more violent and faithful interpretation of the Squad. As you can tell, I'm pretty stoked for this. My inner sociopath needs Gunn's brand of R-rated violence, so let's get to it. This is my honest opinion of The Suicide Squad. Amanda Waller, reprised by Viola Davis, is putting together Task Force X to travel to the island of Corto Maltese. There, they are to infiltrate the tower known as Jotunheim, where it is said that the local government is experimenting with an alien being, and Task Force X is to blow it up.
We're all gonna die.
I hope so.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh yeah, it's a whole lot of fun, and it's got a whole lot of violence. Hey, Britton, why'd you rate this a 15 instead of an 18? Like, people get murdered in pretty brutal and gory ways. Oh, they actually responded to that? The violence is mitigated by the humor and fantasy context? What, because we have a few giggles and the action is superhero-y, the violence is somehow not as violent? Dude, people get vertically ripped in half with their rib cages on full display. Laughter will never mitigate that. Not to mention, humor is subjective. Gore is not. Can't be dwelled on. It's dwelled on. Do you mean ear-piercing screams of human suffering for several minutes? Because this movie does. Okay, not for several minutes, Gunn's a bit classier than that, but nah, people suffer and the audience gets a nice eyeful of violent imagery. BBFC, you're more drunk than the critical drinker after seeing a live-action Disney remake. Y'all need to go home. Anyway, this was really freaking awesome. Wonder Woman 84 is a distant memory now, and James Gunn is everyone's new dream. Yeah, that works. Ain't perfect, but it's still pretty freaking great. James Gunn really knows how to set a tone, man. Johnny Cash's Folsom Prison Blues, Bell Rev, the hardest of hardcore DC prisons, and a long-haired, orange Crocs-toting Michael Rooker killing a bird with a ball in an over-the-top fashion. It's like a psychopathic blanket is giving me a warm bear hug. It wastes no time in getting things underway either. Colorful cast of characters, both familiar and new. God, I love Harley's black and red color scheme. Established, classic, bonus points for that alone. For the opening beach scene, careful when and where you watch it. I watched it on my big TV at 5 o'clock at night and couldn't make heads or tails of what was happening if a light wasn't shining on anything. I assume this is fine in a movie theater or if you're watching it at home at night, but daytime, even early evening viewing might be a bit of a nightmare. In any case, we gotta open on a big action set piece where people die in horrible ways, and my inner sociopath could not have been happier.
What the fuck?
I didn't pick the damn team.
And at long last, legitimately great humor. Gunn's brand of comedy has never let me down, so I am happy to report that this movie got quite a few decent laughs out of me. For me, the highlights include the rivalry between Bloodsport and Peacemaker. Despite the big reveal later on, which has a practical and intended reason to have both of them on the same team, the butting heads was amazing.
Are you having a laugh?
What?
You just said each member of the team is chosen for their unique abilities. He does exactly what I do.
But better.
How their version of flexing is how effective they are at killing people. I was having the time of my life watching that stuff. Plus, the darker humor got me on a pretty intense level. Specifically with Polka Dot Man, when he says that the only way he can kill people, something that he naturally doesn't enjoy doing, but, well, listen to the line for yourself.
I don't like to kill people, but if I pretend they're my mom, it's easy.
Yeah, imagine hearing that line as you watch this movie with your 60-year-old mother. I don't have to imagine it because that's what I did. We both had a great laugh, though. Aww. If the movie isn't making me laugh, then it's making me smile with the oversaturation of charm. And if anyone knows me really well, they'll know that I value that over hearty laughter any day. Robbie as Harley always put a smile on my face. Her comedic timing is always on point.
Recently, I made a promise to myself that the next time I got a boyfriend, I'd be on the lookout for red flags. And if I saw any, I would do the healthy thing. And I would murder him.
I love the budding friendship between Ratcatcher 2 and King Shark, especially when it's first established after he tries to eat her in her sleep. Never in my life have I ever thought I would want to pet and hug a great white shark. I mean, I won't, as much as I don't support poaching and understand that they're vital to the ocean's ecosystem, we're not friends. But King Shark is adorable.
He has very kind eyes.
In a very homicidal kind of way.
That was incredibly violent.
Before we get to the negatives, I wanted to kind of touch upon the halvesies. The halvesy, just the one. This movie has style written all over, and I kind of mean that literally. At least until it doesn't. From the main titles to the time jumps to the location labels, these moments give the movie a real personality, unlike many superhero movies out there. Problem is that there are a couple of moments where Gunn's style is bewilderingly absent. The one I'm referring to, the introduction to the squad itself, is literally just a walk around Bell Rev. I'm sorry, what? In the first one, as over freaking bloated as it was, most of the squad was introduced in a cool way. But not here? Not in this James Gunn movie? What is world? I don't understand. Even the animated movies got this down. Gunn! I know I said to learn from the first one, but I didn't mean not to take a page or two out of the animated flicks. I know this seems like a small matter to gripe about, but I've become so used to eye candy intros when it comes to the squad that this feels hollow.
Here you go, champ.
Yep. It's about that time. Ugh, I'm sick to my stomach. Alright. Negatives. Let's talk about them. Starting off small and fairly meaningless, I would absolutely be down to watch Viola Davis flex her comedic muscles, at least in another movie. But here, Waller is portrayed as kind of incompetent at her job. And that feels like such a betrayal to the character. In nearly every single adaptation I've seen, she's always shown to be the alpha of alphas. She doesn't even have betas beneath her. That's how imposing she is compared to her cohorts, if she even has any. In Batman Assault on Arkham, she's nicknamed the Wall for a reason, and it's not a fat joke. It's because she's immovable, unflinching, intimidating, probably couldn't even spell the word fear, much less feel it. She's a force of nature. And while you get bits and pieces of a true-to-form Waller, Davis is a pitch-perfect casting after all.
My deepest apologies for disturbing you.
It's alright.
Get your ass out here!
However, when Weasel is shown to not know how to swim, she looks at her computer nerd. No Waller I know would have overlooked that detail because she would have been the one to have handpicked the team. I love Gunn's comedy, and in another movie from another character, this would have been hilarious. It is, but I just don't agree with the idea that Waller sucks at her job.
Starfish is a slang term for a butthole. Think there's any connection?
No.
I can't believe I'm about to say this. And given that it's a James Gunn movie, I don't think this can be legally considered a proper English sentence. But, too much story. Oh, we're full screening of this, huh? I guess that makes sense. Yeah, said it, meant it. Here's why. Well, maybe it's more accurate to say that there's elements to the story that I don't think anyone watching would give a crap about. Mainly, anything involving the villains Presidente Silvio Luna, played by Juan Diego Boto, and General Mateo Suarez, played by Joaquin Cosio. In a movie about the Suicide Squad sent in to blow up Starro the Conqueror, does anyone truly care about the politics of the local government? It slows the movie down to a crawl to me. I guess we needed context as to why Starro was being held in Corto Maltese, but let's face it, it could have been anywhere. A fictional base by a rogue Argus group or something? My personal conspiracy theory is that it was a long-winded excuse to show how far Harley's come at identifying red flags in the guys she's attracted to. And because Starro isn't the main villain of the story, I guess the squad needed an active antagonist for them to fight, but there's so few scenes where they do that I have to wonder how worthwhile it ultimately was.
No, Mateo, no. Con un arma tan peligrosa el mundo nos va a tomar en serio.
And the more I thought about this, the more frustrated I got. Granted, it's done better here, but yet again, this movie is trying to push that the squad is just a bunch of friends. Dude! Gunn! Why? Why is WAG the reigning champion in portraying the squad in a sensible way? This is the reason why having the Corto Maltesian presidents makes no sense to me, because by virtue of having the Suicide Squad, you have built-in antagonists. I've said it a million times now, but the squad should always be about these people finding a balance of one-upping each other, looking out for themselves and only working as a team if it means self-preservation. But ain't no one friends. It makes sense to have at least one person in the squad to be morally fluid so that the audience doesn't literally hate everyone's guts, but not every character is supposed to be portrayed like that. Yes, eventually the squad kinda fights each other. I'm grateful for that, make no mistake, but I wish that the squad talked way more smack to each other and there were fewer nice characters. I feel like this is the kind of dynamic that would work in a Teen Titans movie if they ever did one, but c'est la vie, I guess.
Don't you worry, eh? I'm gonna get you out of here alive.
I'm going to get you out of here alive.
Dick. Fucking hate not hating you.
I had way more negatives to talk about than I am comfortable admitting to. I stand by them. I also stand by that I really, really like this movie. Frankly, the negatives are only noticeable if I really sit down to think about them. And I'm pretty sure that for a James Gunn movie of this caliber, you're not really supposed to do that. In the moment, it's a ton of fun. Even when you've had some time to process all of the insanity, the positives truly outweigh the negatives to such a degree that it's almost unnecessary to point them out. But I'm a jerk, so I'll do it anyway. If you're looking for the squad to redeem themselves after the 2016 question mark, this'll do it for you. It's fun, violent, totally entertaining. Stick around after my rating so I can rank this among my favorite DCEU films. My honest rating for The Suicide Squad, a strong 4 out of 5.
No one likes to show off.
Unless what they're showing off is dope as fuck.
Fuck. That's true.
Okay, so let's recap where my rankings stand today. In first place, we have Wonder Woman. No one should be shocked. At number 2, Aquaman. At number 3, Shazam. At 4, Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. At 5, Man of Steel. At 6, Justice League. At 7, Suicide Squad. At 8, Wonder Woman 84. And at 9, Batman v Superman. Hey, since we're here and I totally forgot to rank Zack Snyder's Justice League, let's knock that out right quick. This'll be sacrilegious, but I'm ranking it as number 7. Yes, it's technically a better movie than Whedon's version, but it's also way too long, and despite some improvements to certain scenes, improved scenes don't always equate to good scenes. I'll never watch Whedon's version again, only the Snyder Cut if I ever binge the franchise again, but it'll be a dreaded 4-hour sit. But for now, this one. So, definitely better / more enjoyable than BVS, 84, First Squad. Vastly prefer this over both Justice Leagues. So now we're in the top 5. How exciting! Yes, prefer this over Man of Steel. Yes, prefer this over Birds of Prey. We're in the top 3. Ooh la la. Okay, Oof. The Squad is definitely more enjoyable and is a flick that I can see myself popping in on a random Tuesday to enjoy far more often than Shazam. But sorry guys, I'm an adopted kid, it's kind of an adoption reunification story, and I'll always have a soft spot for those. So, with a heavy heart, I have to place it in the number 4 slot. Hey, it's in the top 5, so I think that's something. You know what? While I'm here as well, Aquaman has not aged well, thanks to...
Oh, that is disgusting.
And because of Warner Brothers basically saying it's okay for women to abuse men, Aquaman's getting knocked down to the number 3 spot. Hold up. Boy, that husband abuser is a huge deterrent to ever revisit it, isn't she? I guess with the last minute shift in my top 3, The Suicide Squad gets the official bronze medal. Birds of Prey isn't remotely cringe like Aquaman is now, but Aquaman's visuals and many of the other character portrayals are so good that I just can't bring myself to go too much lower. So yeah, that's my updated rankings for the DCEU, as uneven and inconsistent as it is. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Stay safe and healthy out there. Hope to see you soon. One final caveat as you guys move on with your day, I've decided to test my luck at a Patreon, so please consider supporting the channel. No obligations of course, no content is gated off, but any and all contributions would mean a lot. Link in the description. Have a great one, folks.